Welcome in, everybody. This is 12 News Today in AZ. I'm Troy Hayden. We're getting you going with a fast start to your morning this morning. Thursday, August 1st, here's what you need to know to start your day.
As advertised, yes, a little monsoon moisture bubbling up. Quite a light show overhead if you've been outside. But now as the moisture weakens, what's the bottom line on the temperatures? And is there any more rain in the works? Details coming up in my weather impact.
All right, let's get to news. This morning, we're learning new details about a deadly stabbing. Firefighters called to 17th Avenue in Grand about 9 yesterday morning, and when they got there, they found Gabriel Trejos stabbed several times. Police say Alexander Reyes was arrested nearby. Now he's facing a murder charge. Police have not shared a motive in the case. We are dedicated to keeping you safe. Scottsdale police are warning people not to try to catch predators on their own. Investigators say they had 2 recent incidents where teenagers chatted up adults online. Then they set up meetups to confront those adults. The department says this is very dangerous, and in most cases, these kinds of actions do not lead to successful prosecutions of child predators. They say if somebody's being targeted online, the best thing to do is call police. Scottsdale police, in fact, say setting up these stings yourself could actually leave you facing charges. Good news for drivers heading into the Northeast Valley. Southbound lanes of State Route 87 are reopened now south of Payson. The stretch of road has been closed for the past few days because of the sandstone fire burning in the area and the firefighting efforts there. So this is burning northeast of Fountain Hills. The fire has burned more than 27,000 acres, although it is 27% contained. So the road has reopened, but ADOT is urging drivers pay attention because the fire is still active and firefighting efforts are still ongoing.
Yeah, that's great advice, especially ahead of the weekend if you're planning on going up north to beat the heat. A wide look across the valley. Just minutes ago, we were completely clear, but it looks like something just popped up, possibly on the 17. I'll be checking that out and letting you know. Otherwise, your morning commute is looking really good early on this Thursday morning.
Political news for you. We are continuing to follow several key races still too close to call. So this is the Democratic side of Congressional District 1. A lot of candidates trying to get this. Amish Shah now holding a slight lead over Andre Cherney. Marlene Galan-Woods not too far behind. Again, still too close to call. The Associated Press has also yet to call the Democratic primary in the 3rd Congressional District. Yasemin Ansari has 46% of the vote. Raquel Tehran trailing behind her, but again, Ansari leading at this point. Arizona election officials say there's a big batch of results expected to be tallied today to help determine the outcome of these very close races. On the national scene later today, former President Trump's running mate J.D. Vance will be in Cochise County touring our southern border. The Ohio senator held a rally in Glendale yesterday. He focused much of his speech on immigration and how issues at the border are affecting us here in Arizona. This is the first time Vance has spoken in Arizona since becoming the Republican VP candidate. On the Democratic side, Vice President and presumptive presidential nominee Kamala Harris will visit Phoenix next week. A campaign official confirmed to 12 News Harris is expected to announce her pick for vice president in Philadelphia coming up on Tuesday. Then the campaign will travel through several battleground states, including us here in Arizona. So various names have been floated for Harris's running mate, including our own Arizona Senator Mark Kelly. But with the announcement happening in Philadelphia, there's a lot of speculation that it's going to be Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro who will be that likely pick.
What's up, Arizona? Good morning, Rise and Grind. I'm Cameron Cox. Have you been watching the Olympics? If so, that's great, but don't forget, a ton of Valley sports happening too as well. You know how we do it here at 12 Sports. We're covering everything. We're back at Cardinals practice today. After a day off, we're going to get an update on center Yel DeFroholt, who left Tuesday's practice a little late in the afternoon with what looked like a leg injury. Hopefully he's okay. We're going to hear from Jonathan Gannon and the boys a little bit later on today. Also, ASU day 2 of practice out there in Tempe. What do the Sun Devils look like? We'll tell you right here on 12 Sports. Remember, happiness is a choice. Go out and make it a great day. And Troy, welcome to the team.
Feels like the first day of school, doesn't it? For not just us, but also a lot of students who will be heading back to class at Arizona's largest school district. Still ahead for you at 4:30. They are getting back to class today. 12 News journalist Troy Lynch is learning what changes families need to be prepared for this year.
U.S. officials issuing new guidelines if you're flying with this. A dog coming up at 5. Why the process is becoming more complicated starting today and what it means for your canine companion.
Plus at 5:30, 12 News anchor Tramai is live from Paris speaking with Olympic gold medalist Jade Carey and her family about their time at this year's Olympic Games.
And at 6, Airline still recovering from the CrowdStrike glitch last month. how much money they lost, and the fallout for travelers.
Well, it is a big day here at 12 News. We are so excited. Thank you guys for being here. I'm Allison Rodriguez.
I'm Emily Pritchard, and this morning we are welcoming our newest member. It feels good to say welcome to Troy Hayden.
Yeah, nice place you have here. Thanks for having me in.
We spiffed it up a bit for you.
Oh, yeah. Well, it looks great. And you guys have been so welcoming, and I'm so happy to be part of this new team and ready to get going.
I know.
Sure.
Well, I mean, you have been a fixture here in the state for so long now. I mean, you have such an amazing background with stories and journalism, and that's why we were excited to hear that you're going to be part of that team, just adding to that rich culture that we have here at 12 News.
Well, you know, the great thing about Arizona is we all have so many stories to tell, and I can't wait to tell all of them and share it and connect with you out here as viewers, and I'm super excited. Now, so it's weird because of the Olympics right now,
Yes.
so I'm working with you two for the next week and a half, which is great. Thank you
Yes.
so much for having me.
Thanks for coming in.
It's
We
really
We'd
fun.
like to keep you, but
And then at 7:30 p.m., I'm going to be doing the Olympic zone at night. But my actual shift is going to be the 4 and 5 p.m. working with Tram and Caribe, and then Mark at various times as well. So super excited. Yeah, see, that's the team.
there you go.
Look at him
Yeah,
go. Look
all
at
right.
the foursome there.
We've had a chance to talk with Tram a little bit too, and Caribe, I'm sure, who are just so excited to work with you at 4 and 5. And so we're excited about this lineup.
It's like our own Olympic team joining us.
Well, we're going for a medal for sure.
Of the gold.
Yeah.
Always the gold,
Yeah,
top
the
of the
gold.
podium.
Yeah, no, I mean, I love how 12 News, we're all about journalism, and that's important to me, and that's really one of the main reasons, the main reason that I made the switch over here. So let's get going.
That's right.
Shall
We
do
know
it?
you're
do it.
dedicated to
Okay.
journalism, dedicated to you. And Troy, we're so happy to have you. Okay, so we've had a Troy sighting. We also had a different sighting this morning. We're tracking rain in the valley. You got to take a look at this video this morning on the 51 coming into downtown Phoenix. Isn't that a nice sight to see a few sprinkles as we get that brief chance to use those windshield wipers, which, Allison, we don't always get to do.
No, I had to make sure I remembered which nozzle that was on the car. I said, what? Meteorologist Ginger Jeffries here now. Okay, so Ginger, you actually called this yesterday saying we could see some this morning.
Called it Monday, Allison. But welcome to Troy. Fun fact here, we went to the same high school
And
in
it's so
Sacramento.
weird. I know.
How
It is
crazy.
so weird.
I think we grew up 2 streets away from each other. I'm trying to figure that
meant to
out right
be.
now.
Meant
But
to
yeah,
be.
good stuff. So welcome, Troy. And yeah, as advertised, here's that wimpy moisture that I referred to as if you blink, you're going to miss it on Thursday morning. It is monsoon moisture, but it's just a teaser of what's to come. And yes, it's kind of kissing the valley right now as it's brushing the southwestern quadrant. We've got a little bit of activity. I think the biggest impact so far has been that light show that a lot of folks have seen. But yeah, certainly some cells just a little west of Guadalupe and a little southwest of Avondale. So no, this is not going to be a massive deluge of saturation. And as you can see, as I put Futurecast into motion, we've just got very isolated sporadic showers. So what is the weather impact? Well, anytime we get this light of rain, it is a driving nightmare. It doesn't clean off the roads. It just kind of mixes with that oil that's on the surface. So it's very slick outside. Again, I am looking for some isolated showers through this evening with some lightning because of the moisture, though. We're talking about temperatures that are coming down. Highs at 107, but more monsoon moisture is on the horizon. I'll show you when. Coming up in a couple of minutes. Over to you.
Good morning, everybody. It's 5 o'clock. This is 12 News Today in AZ. You're getting a fast start to your morning right now.
It's Thursday, August 1st. Here's what we're looking at that's happening across the U.S. The Department of Defense reaching a plea deal with the alleged mastermind of the 9/11 attacks. The deal's been made with Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, also known as KSM, and his 2 co-defendants. Details of that agreement are unclear. The defendants are expected to plead guilty to all charges, including the murder of more than 2,976 people. This deal expected to take the death penalty off the table. We do know that trio is scheduled to appear at a hearing at Guantanamo Bay, Cuba next week.
A settlement may be near for the more than 600 lawsuits about the 2023 Lahaina wildfires that killed more than 100 people and basically burned down half of that city. Hawaii's Governor Josh Green says the parties involved in the lawsuits against the state, Maui County, and utilities are close to a settlement worth about $4 billion. The governor says details could be finalized as soon as August 6th, just 2 days before the 1-year anniversary of that devastating fire.
I'm meteorologist Ginger Jeffries. Get ready. Daytime highs not as toasty as yesterday, but we do have a little bit of pop-up shower activity. This is just the beginning of a monsoon event that's going to take you into the weekend. I'll show you where and when, how much rainfall we're going to get coming up in my weather impact forecast.
Let's turn to your education news. Just weeks before the fall semester begins, the Education Department announcing colleges will not be able to submit batch financial aid corrections. Now, what this really means is this is expected to delay student aid payments and leave some students unable to pay those fees on time. Since the new FAFSA form was released in December, we've been telling you that rollout has been plagued with delays, glitches, and also processing errors. The Education Department says it will offer technical assistance to help schools with that process.
The CDC is rolling out some new rules for people who travel with dogs. They're trying to prevent the spread of rabies. So now going forward, all dogs entering or re-entering the U.S. have to appear healthy. They have to be at least 6 months old and have a microchip. Pet owners also have a receipt. They will be forced to do that with a dog import form submitted on the CDC's website. Requirements may vary based on where the dog has been for the last 6 months and whether it was vaccinated here in the U.S.
Boeing has named a new CEO after reporting a $1.4 billion loss in its second quarter. Kelly Ortberg is replacing retiring CEO David Calhoun, who has been under fire for the company's problems. Those problems include increased scrutiny of the safety and also quality of their planes. Ortberg previously served as CEO of supplier Rockwell Collins. He has an engineering background. Let's now turn to your roads.
All right, and we are showing you your one thing for traffic this morning. Heads up, West Valley drivers. Unfortunately, this is your issue. If you are planning on taking the I-10 eastbound, we're giving you a live look right now at 7th Avenue. The backup stretching much farther than that, and coming up in my traffic report, I'll show you that.
Thank you, Jen, for getting us prepared for that. And we are getting you prepared for a big day here at 12 News. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Emily Pritchard. Yeah, you can see he's a little big. You're kind of tall, Troy.
Well, yeah.
You can see we're welcoming our newest member, Troy Hayden. Heels. We got to show that on a camera if that's the truth.
Well, thanks for letting me crash your show. It's great to see you.
It's great to have you.
It's been a lot of fun. This is a beautiful station, committed to journalism, and I'm all in, right?
Yes.
So let's do it. Let's get going.
We're so happy to have you. You have 30 years of journalism experience right here in the Valley. We just feel so lucky that you're joining us.
Are you calling out my age? What's going on here?
Never.
I kind of
it's
felt that way.
Experience, Troy. Experience.
Right. Okay.
And Allison will be joining us at 6 a.m. Right now, meteorologist Ginger Jeffries. Ginger, you have action on the radar. You've been tracking some scattered showers.
As advertised, I started telling you about this early in the work week because we certainly have some monsoon moisture on the move. Don't blink. You might miss it. As you can see, it's basically brushing the southwestern quadrant today. But this is just the beginning. We've got more moisture as it's going to loop around. As we zero in our live Doppler radar, you can see we've got some cells on the 10, just a little west of Buckeye. This guy fading again. These storms are building and collapsing in under about 15 minutes. So no watches, no warnings. Now the problem is when we've got these kinds of cells, they're getting the ground wet, but they're not cleaning it off. So all the oil that's left over from the cars, it's just going to make those roads really slippery, Arizona. So give yourself some extra time. Meantime, this morning, yeah, we still have a little bit of action on the radar through about 11 o'clock, but then that is really going to dissipate as we get into the evening hours. Meantime, high temperatures. This is the other part of our weather story. Even though we're compromised today, going down for 107, look where we're headed this weekend. I'm talking about a little bit of excessive heat on the horizon.
Thank you, Ginger. At 5:05, we're turning to some of our top stories. We know Arizona heat can be so dangerous, and sadly this year we've learned 2 young Arizona children have already died in hot cars. This is just news you never want to hear.
No, and 12 News journalist Justin Pizzera now joins us live, and here we are, Justin. Triple digits, 110 plus. We are ripe to have something like this happen here as opposed to other states. What do you come up with?
Yeah, good morning, Troy. It is an unfortunate number. Unfortunately, this death in Arizona this week marks the 17th death across the country, and Arizona really has a horrible track record at this. We have had 2 deaths so far this year of a child being left in one of those hot cars. In fact, the organization Child and Car Safety says that Arizona is the 4th worst state in the country when it comes to the number of deaths. We've had 49 kids pass away away in a hot car since 1994. So let's talk about the latest case here. A 6-month-old infant was left in a car for 7 hours. 12 News talked to the mom off camera. She, of course, is devastated, but she told us that she had her neighbor watch her 6-month-old while she worked. Apparently that neighbor forgot the baby was in the car. I just checked with Ginger, and temperatures in that area soared to about 93 degrees that day when that child was left in the car. The Yavapai County Sheriff's Office said that they got the call Tuesday night at about 9 o'clock. Paramedics responded to the Cordes Lakes area, and that's when they found that infant dead in the car. Last month, investigators say the father of a 2-year-old left his daughter in the car. This happened in Marana. Temps that day soared to 111 degrees. He's facing second-degree murder charges. He has a preliminary hearing scheduled for this afternoon at 1:30 in Pima County. Now, Kids in Car Safety says one of the best ways to prevent this is when you get in the car, immediately put something in the back seat with your child. We're talking about a purse, a cell phone, your car keys, basically something that you can't live without, you can't start your day with, so that way when you go in the back seat to get that item, you also remember that you have someone else in the back seat. We're live in downtown Phoenix this morning. Justin Pizzera, 12 News, Today in AZ.
All right, thank you, Justin. So many important reminders there. I know anytime anyone's watching my children, I always remind them it's so hot outside. Please make sure everybody is inside before you move on to the next thing. All right, we are giving you a live look outside now. I-10 eastbound 43rd Ave. This backup stretching for several miles this morning. So West Valley drivers, plan ahead. The rest of the valley still in the green. You see some of these crash icons on the screen. Those are all off of Valley freeways, so side streets not impacting any commutes on the 17 or the 51. But I want to show you just how slow we're looking here, down to about 12 miles per hour. So some major stop and go here. This backup stretching from the 202 South Mountain all the way to Central in downtown Phoenix. So just give yourself a few extra minutes as you're heading out the door.
In Decision 2024, former President Donald Trump's running mate, J.D. Vance, is expected to be at the border today in Arizona following his rally in the West Valley just last night.
So his visit focused on immigration, emphasizing the significance our state is going to play in the November election. And yes, if you believe the polls, Arizona is in play. 12 News journalist Bianca Bono inside that event spoke with voters who showed up to support Vance.
Well, the event center here was at max capacity, and nearly every person I talked to said they are loyal supporters of former President Trump, regardless of his running mate. But after hearing from J.D. Vance in person, they're happy to support him, too.
We will, in short, make America great again. It's going to start in Arizona and spread like wildfire.
Arizonans willing to wait in extreme heat to see former President Donald Trump's running mate, Senator J.D. Vance.
I love them, support them, and drove a couple hours to get here. So, Florence, Arizona.
This is the first time Vance has spoken in Arizona since becoming the Republican VP candidate.
Loyalty is serving in the United States Marine Corps, something I am proud of. Loyalty is taking a bullet for this country, something Donald J. Trump did.
Supporters coming from across the state to be here, opening up about the issues driving their vote.
Getting America back in balance with affordability to buy things and, afford a home, afford groceries, afford gas.
I want to be able to feel safe in my country. The border.
The border? The border.
The Ohio senator recalling his humble beginnings and family's financial struggles.
I know what it's like to choose between paying off the credit card debt or buying groceries. The dreams we have for our country and for our families, they are on the ballot in November.
Vance also focusing much of his speech on immigration, calling out VP Kamala Harris, describing her as a dangerous liberal who failed to address the problems at our nation's southern border.
She offers to lead us to a place of despair. So let me ask you, do we want open borders in this country?
It's these issues that resonate with these Arizonans, an energized crowd committed to supporting the Trump ticket.
I think he's fantastic. I mean, I had no idea. I heard him at the Republican convention, and I knew he sounded great, but this is amazing.
President Trump picked him, and I want to show the support.
And Vance's trip to Arizona does not end here. Later today, he'll be in Cochise County to visit the border. We're in Glendale. Bianca Bono, Today in AZ.
So, of course, we'll be covering Vance's trip down to the border. On the other side of the political aisle, the Democrats, Vice President Kamala Harris, expected to visit Phoenix late next week. We don't have exact times or exact date, but a campaign official did confirm to 12 News. Harris is expected to announce her pick for VP in Philadelphia on Tuesday of next week, and then campaign through several battleground states. Of course, Arizona is one of those. So several names have been floated for Harris's running mate. That includes Arizona Senator Mark Kelly. But with the announcement happening in Philadelphia, political insiders speculate that Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro will be the one picked to be the nominee.
Independent presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s campaign says it has collected enough signatures to qualify for ballots in 8 more states in your Decision 2024 coverage. This is in addition to 12 states where Kennedy already secured a spot on that ballot. This now brings the total to 43 states where his campaign has submitted petitions, qualified for ballot access, or collected enough signatures to qualify. And according to his campaign website, RFK Jr. is in the process of petitioning for ballot access right here in Arizona.
All right, our primary election is still not over in some races. So a live look right now inside the Maricopa County Tabulation Center. And you can see it's hopping. Look at that place.
Wow.
No, I'm just kidding. Well, it's only 5:12 in the morning. They're probably having some coffee, getting that extra donut in, but they have a lot of work ahead of them coming up. In just a few hours, a large batch of results are expected to drop. More ballots are being counted. Democratic race from Congressional District 1 is still undecided. Amish Shah holds a slight lead over Andre Cherney. Marlene Galan Woods not far behind. So again, with this big dump of votes, we'll see what happens in District 1. Democratic race in the 3rd Congressional District has yet to be called as well. Yasamin Ansari has 46% of the vote. Raquel Tehran just behind her. So again, with these votes coming in, we'll see if this sways this election. We'll continue to keep an eye on the results. We will update you as soon as those races are called. They're saying it could be the end of the day today or maybe in tomorrow until they finish counting all those votes.
At 5:13 on your Thursday, still ahead, we are tracking monsoon action this morning as a cooler day is expected today. But what kind of weekend are we looking forward to? Meteorologist Ginger Jeffries is joining us with her latest weather impact forecast.
Welcome in, everybody. It's 6 a.m. This is 12 News Today in AZ. We're going to get you going with a fast start to your morning.
It is Thursday, August 1st, kicking off a new month together. Here's what you need to know to start your day.
I'm meteorologist Ginger Jeffries. Even though we have some showers around the valley this morning, there's also an excessive heat watch going into play this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Temperatures getting up into the 1 teens. But how about that monsoon moisture? I'm tracking it for you. Coming up, my full forecast.
Yavapai County Sheriff's Office says a 6-month-old baby has died after being left in a hot car in Cordes Lakes. Deputies tell us this happened Tuesday night just after 9 o'clock. 12 News journalist Justin Pizzera has been working throughout the night to learn more about this case. He'll join us in less than 5 minutes with details on this story.
This morning, we're also learning some new details about a deadly stabbing. This one happened in a neighborhood near 17th Avenue and Grand. Phoenix police are telling us fire crews were called around 9 o'clock in the morning. When they arrived, they found a man who had been stabbed several times. Police say the suspect was arrested and is now facing a murder charge. Police have not shared a motive.
Arizona election officials say a big batch of results expected to be tallied today, and they could determine the outcome of a couple of key primary races that are still too close to call. So this is Democratic race in Congressional District 1, where Amish Shah holding a slight lead over Andre Cherney and also Marlene Galan Woods. They're all there. They're not separated by many votes right now, so we'll see what this next vote dump does for this race. The Associated Press also yet to call the Democratic primary in the 3rd Congressional District. Yasamin Ansari, 46% of that vote. Raquel Tehran close behind her.
Let's get to some good news for drivers. The southbound lanes of State Route 87, they've reopened south of Payson, had been closed for the past few days because of the sandstone fire. It's a fire we've been covering since last week. It's burning northeast of Fountain Hills. So far, that fire has burned more than 27,000 acres. It's currently 27% contained. And while the road has reopened, ADOT is still saying be on guard because the fire is still burning near SR 87.
Thank you, Allison. More good news to report for your traffic this morning. Remember this spot? There's been a crash here blocking traffic for the last 45 minutes to an hour. It is clear right now. However, the impacts are lingering this morning. I-10 eastbound 27th Ave. Give yourself some extra time, and I'll give you the rest of your Valley traffic report coming up in just a couple minutes.
Thank you, Jen. This morning, a new report revealing just how much that recent worldwide CrowdStrike outage cost Delta Airlines. In less than 10 minutes, we're going to share how much money they're going to be shelling out because of this.
And then at 6:30 for you, we're taking you live to Paris, where several athletes with Arizona ties will be competing today. Guess what? 12 News anchor Tram Mai will be introducing us to the Olympians who are going for gold. She has had us covered since the Olympics got started with the opening ceremony Friday, and so we can't wait to check back in with her. A lot to get to on your Thursday, but first, it is a big day here at 12 News. I'm Allison Rodriguez, and this morning we're welcoming our newest member to the team, Troy Hayden. Troy, how exciting to have you and to debut you here on Today in AZ.
I'm so happy to be here. New to the station, but not new to the market.
No.
Great to be here on 12 News. I love what you're doing over here, what we're doing over here.
Yes.
So let's get going. I'll be doing the 4 and 5 p.m. primarily weeknights after the Olympics, but during the Olympics, I'll be doing the morning show with you, which is so great, and also Emily. And then at 7:30, I'll be doing the Olympic Zone, so through the Olympics. And it's been so fun watching these Olympics, but I can't wait to be, look at that team.
I know,
that team.
Look at the smiles.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, we're excited to have you.
All right, good. All right, so let's get to our continuing coverage of Monsoon 2024. Meteorologist Ginger Jeffries tracking storm chances for the day and into the weekend. Hello, Ginger.
Hey, Troy, did you hit any rain while you were coming in this morning?
Couple of drops, yeah.
Yeah, maybe about 14. That's what I counted. And that's kind of how the screenplay is going to go today. We're not seeing a deluge this morning, but our atmosphere is ripe with some moisture. As a result, it's going to be on the muggy side, but I know where you're looking right here. 107. That is exactly where we're supposed to be this time of the year, and down from where we have been hovering in the 110 range. So with the cloud cover and the moisture, our temperatures are going to be just slightly compromised. Now let's track the good stuff. As you can see, we've got this moisture layer that is brushing the metro. Most of it is staying in the southwest quadrant, but it's coming in from the southeast. So that means around the Tucson area, we're still looking for some storm activity later in the day. Live Doppler radar, again, very patchy, isolated, pocketed moisture. It just doesn't look strong enough at this hour to produce any kind of outflow. So the weather impact is, because of the light rain, it is mixing with the oil and the dirt and debris on the roadway. As a result, the roadways are slick. Give yourself a little bit of extra time. Meantime, 88 degrees outside next 3 days. The heat is on. Yes, the mercury is climbing. How hot will it get? Find out in a couple minutes.
All right, thank you, Ginger. Looking forward to that. We are showing you improving roadways this morning. Now, there is still a backup here because of this crash at I-10 eastbound and 7th Ave. The crash now clear. We've confirmed it through our ADOT cameras, but you're still looking at a pretty decent slowdown, stretching at about 6 miles because of this one. So some of your speeds in the area right around 20 miles per hour. And then moving just a little farther east, this crash just popping up I-10 eastbound near the 202 HOV lane. Coming up in my traffic report next, I'm going to see if there's an ADOT camera that'll give us a look at this one.
All right, Jen, thank you. We have some breaking international news for you this morning. Russia and the U.S. have apparently agreed to a prisoner swap that would free Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich and former U.S. Marine Paul Whelan from Russian prisons. The swap also reportedly includes multiple prisoners with ties to American allies. Gershkovich, you may remember, was arrested by Russian authorities back in March of 2023. He was accused of espionage, although the Wall Street Journal said no, he was just doing his job there. He was sentenced to 16 years in prison. Whelan has been in custody much longer. He was arrested in 2018, also accused of espionage. And we got our own taste of the Russian criminal justice system when Brittany Griner was over there, and the efforts to get her out. So again, the message and the news for the families of these two men, very good this morning. A prisoner swap. It looks like these two men may go free. Of course, we'll have details on that for you as we go through the day today.
Correct.
All right. Tragedy now here in our state. We've had 2 young children die in hot cars just this year.
All right, so 12 News journalist Justin Pizzera, we want to get to him. He's joining us live with more. And Justin, it turns out Arizona is one of the worst states in the country when it comes to children dying in hot cars. Why?
Yeah, good morning, Allison. It is not good. Arizona actually does rank 4th in the nation when it comes to the number of hot car deaths pertaining to children. We have already had 2 this year. Let's talk about the latest cases. This first one was when a 6-month-old infant was left in a car for 7 hours. 12 News talked to that mom off camera. Of course, as you can understand, she is just absolutely devastated. But she did tell us that she left the baby with her neighbor, that 6-month-old, while she worked. Apparently that neighbor forgot that the baby was in the back of the car. The temperatures in that area soared to 93 degrees on Tuesday. The Yavapai County Sheriff's Office said that they got the call Tuesday night at about 9 o'clock, hours after that baby had been in the car. Paramedics responded to the Cordes Lakes area, and that's when they did find that infant dead in the car. Last month, investigators say a father of a 2-year-old left his daughter in a hot car in Marana. Temps that day soared to 111 degrees. He's now facing second-degree murder charges. He has a preliminary hearing scheduled for this afternoon at 1:30 in Pima County. Now, Kids and Car Safety, that's an organization that really tracks all these numbers. They say one of the best things to do to make sure that this does not happen to you is to leave something in the back of your car that you can't start your morning out with, maybe you just can't live without in the day, something like your laptop, a purse, a bag, your car keys, your cell phone, something in there that would remind you to reach in the back seat and get it. And of course, that would remind you that you have another passenger in the back. We're live in downtown Phoenix this morning. Justin Pizzera, 12 News, Today in AZ.
Good reminders for sure. United Airlines and Delta, thank you, Justin, are canceling flights to Israel. Both airlines offer service right now to Tel Aviv. Delta says it's canceled flights there through Friday because of the ongoing war with Hamas. United also canceling its daily flights, but didn't offer a timeline on when they might resume. Both airlines say they are monitoring that situation closely, but again, for now, no flights from United or Delta to Israel.
Now, all of this is coming as we are learning Delta Airlines is now facing $500 million in losses from the recent worldwide tech outage. You remember that? Well, the airline CEO is blaming cybersecurity firm CrowdStrike and software giant Microsoft for the outage. Led to scenes like this with hundreds of bags, luggage just stranded at airports. So a flawed software update knocked Delta's crew tracking system offline for the better part of a week. Delta was forced to cancel about a third of its schedule over 5 days. Yes, it led to a whole big mess, but the airline is saying neither CrowdStrike nor Microsoft have offered any compensation for the outage. So no doubt there were a lot of impacts from this one. This is just the beginning to see maybe some of that companies trying to recoup.
I smell lawsuit. I don't know about you.
The lawyers are circling.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Votes still being counted in some key primary races. 6:30, we're taking a closer look at the races that are still too close to call. And we're also looking forward to the November general election.
Again this morning, we are welcoming our newest member to 12 News, Troy Hayden. We are so excited to have you.
How are you? It's so good to be here. I like
and
the couch.
The studio audience is going wild.
Yeah,
right
everybody knows.
now.
Yeah, like the wave
They
out
started
there.
the wave over there. We'll continue over here. Troy, don't let us down with the wave.
No, it's great. You know, you guys really hooked me with your commitment to journalism over here and made it very attractive. I've been here in the Valley for a long time, but I thought, you know what, I kind of want to join these guys, so let's check it out. Yeah,
Happy to have you.
Yeah, and you've been great to me all morning. Appreciate it. So, because of the Olympics, I'm here on the morning show for the next, week and a half?
Yeah, that's what,
Something
well,
like
we
that.
got you tomorrow and all next week.
Then all next week. And then starting after the Olympics, I'll be doing the 4 and 5 p.m., the 4 p.m. with Tram, the 5 p.m. with Caribe, which will be fun, and then filling in all over the place.
That's what you think right now, but I don't know. It's going to be tough to leave us.
Yes.
I'm just
You're
saying.
like, wait, I have to turn off my morning alarm? What's that?
Well, he's got to set another one later too, because you're doing something else tonight.
Yeah, I'll be doing the Olympic Zone, and I'm talking about it all morning, but I've been addicted to these Olympics, especially the primetime program. It's so fun to watch. So kind of the gateway to the primetime is the Olympic Zone at 7:30. So I'll be doing that through the Olympics. And yeah, but again, thank you all of you for being so welcoming and nice. It's been really fun.
It's so great to have you. When I think Olympic Zone, I'm like, man, that sounds like a big task, but you're going to cover it all. From everything we see today, looking at the medal count, and then, of course, all the top stories from all around town.
Yeah, and then again, leading right into hopefully more gold medals for the U.S.
Don't forget to set your alarm for tomorrow morning for
Right?
us as well.
Yeah, that was an early one. I had a month off. I'm telling you, I've never had a month go so fast. fast, and the last week takes so long. You know, it's one of those things.
You did a lot on your month. I mean, I follow you on social media, so I saw the hiking, and I mean, it was just like, what a great month.
Yeah, try to stay active. The highlight maybe was I have a little travel trailer. I pulled it up into the woods outside of Flagstaff and sat there for a week in the woods staring at trees. I know, it's great. But again, thank you everybody for welcoming me, and I'm so happy to be a member of 12 News.
We're excited to have you.
That's right, and stick around. We'll be back in just 25 minutes, so you don't have to wait very long. We'll have another look at the morning commute. Of course, your forecast, that'll be Jen and Ginger's job, and then the top stories from all around town. We thank you so much for kicking off your Thursday right here on 12 News Today in AZ.